what's the biggest lesson you've learned in building NP?
There's so many lessons I've learned.
Hi, everyone. We're here with NP's very own CEO and founder, Jason Maxwell, today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about NP's history, who we are, and where we came from. So to start us off, Jason, take us back to 2004. What problem were you seeing in the payroll and HR industry that made you say, I need to start NP?
The major problem that I was seeing, Katie, was a lot of companies were really frustrated with the lack of responsiveness they were getting from payroll companies. In a lot of cases, they felt like a number and not a client. And I saw an opportunity to deliver a more proactive service experience to these small businesses that felt underserved by really large organizations.
Yeah, that's perfect. And the rumor has it that you started NP from an attic in Massachusetts. What was that like?
We had very humble beginnings. We had to bootstrap the business and didn't have a lot of capital to initially invest in it. So we had a 200 square foot attic that was built in a two-family house, and we had two desks, a fax machine. Fax machines were used often at the time, and we had to do daily backups for our server. So if you think of if people know of VHS cassettes, they were these big mag media tapes that would do daily backups of all the payroll data that we stored on in the event that there was a need to refresh that information. It was a very, archaic process, thinking back, 21 years ago, how much that business has evolved, over the course of the last 2 decades. It's pretty amazing to think back in terms of 21 years.
Yeah, I don't even know what a fax machine is. So, no, I'm just kidding. But at what point did you realize NP wasn't just a payroll company? It was something bigger.
Great question. I think in 2004, 2005, 2006, our business strategy was really to focus on payroll and delivering more of a white glove service experience to small businesses. And then about 10 years into the business, we saw, really two major shifts. One was to cloud-based technology, and there were companies that were using disparate systems for things like timekeeping and payroll administration and employee benefits administration. And with the cloud, there is this shift to single database solutions where companies could utilize a single login, single user experience to be able to manage multiple functions within the employee experience that really made it a lot more efficient for businesses and administrators of payroll and HR. And then the other shift that we saw was small and lower mid-market companies were needing more from an HR compliance standpoint. There was the introduction of healthcare reform and the Affordable Care Act, and there's so much that companies need to comply with, and a lot of potential liabilities if they don't. So we felt like there was a huge need for HR support in the small and lower mid-market companies, and we introduced HR consulting as a value-added service offering.
Yeah, so this might be hard, but what's one success story, client story that really shows the impact that NP has had, or one of your favorites that you've had over the past 20, 21 years?
There are a few that come to mind. One is a manufacturing business that had about 350 employees. There were new owners that came into a situation where the company was run very inefficiently. They had those separate systems for timekeeping, for payroll. A lot of the employees didn't utilize direct deposit, and they had a really high employee turnover ratio. And we were able, both from a services and technology standpoint, really help them make the shift from archaic systems to being cutting edge, and also being a best place to work. So we were able to work with this company over 2 years, reduce their employee turnover ratio by 30%, help them to bring in some strategies to really improve the culture of the business and help them to better retain employees, introduce them to a new employee benefits partner. So it was a great success story. And there's a number of success stories like that where we've gone into a business that, has historically had a very reactionary service experience and bring them, strategic and consultative support to really help that business get to the next level.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And looking back, what's the biggest lesson you've learned in building MP?
There's so many lessons I've learned. I think leaning into the client relationships, the voice of the client, really having that steer the direction of the business and the strategy, and being willing to do things that other companies are not willing to do for their clients. Additionally, I think that we've built a really value-centric culture for our team and really reinforcing those core values consistently, internally and externally, is really important to really enable a strong culture where people and our team, our clients can flourish.
Yeah, and I might be biased, but I think you've done a really good job. And like, you talk to anyone here at MP, everyone is willing to help. Everyone is willing to live those core values. So it's definitely lived out every day, which is super cool to see. And then last one, what's next for MP?
Yeah, it's really exciting. So we're introducing some new tools, and one of our core values is do more with less. And I think that with the shift to artificial intelligence and not just working with people, but working with artificial intelligence, it's not so much doing more with less, but it's leveraging artificial intelligence as a force multiplier for our business. And we're seeing some really great examples of that, both through the iSolve platform that we sell, implement, and support for our clients. And then, in terms of our overall business processes, I think it's really, really cool and exciting to see how people can do more with artificial intelligence, more so than do more with less, like do more with this force multiplier that, we now can incorporate into our business. It's super exciting.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And Jason, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing the story behind MP. And it's clear that MP's customer service sets us apart, and building a true partnership with our clients is what makes MP different from everyone else. So we appreciate your time, and thank you.
Thanks, Katie.